Hello everyone and welcome back to another meaningful conversation with ChatGPT. I am Rafa
Hey,
Tarek and today's topic is
glad to
overcoming
be.
fear of failure and self-doubt. Fear of failure and self-doubt affect almost everyone at some point in life, whether you are pursuing a new career, starting a business, creating content, or following your dreams. These thoughts can hold you back. Today, I will discuss this important topic with ChatGPT to learn practical ways to build confidence and move forward despite fear. Let's begin. Welcome, ChatGPT.
That's so. Fear of failure often shows up as a kind of inner voice that says, "What if you fail?" And yeah, if you listen to it too long, it can freeze you in place. But let me ask you, when do you notice it kicking in the most? Is it at work or more in your personal goals?
ChatGPT, why do so many people experience fear of failure?
Well, mostly because failure feels like it threatens our sense of worth. We've been taught to link our value to likes online. And when those results don't match our expectations, our brain interprets it like danger, even if it's not. That triggers stress and avoidance. Basically, it's protective, but misguided.
Is fear of failure something we are born with, or does it develop through our experiences?
That's a thoughtful question. We're not born with a fear of failure in its complete form. It tends to develop over time through experiences like family expectations, being constantly compared to others. On the flip side, supportive teaching or mentorship can be unlearned. Does that fit with what you've seen in your own life?
What are the most common signs that someone is struggling with self-doubt?
Hmm. Common signs include putting things off, procrastination, overthinking simple decisions, downplaying achievements, or constantly seeking reassurance. Sometimes it looks like perfectionism, trying to get everything exactly right so that failure seems impossible. Ever notice any of those patterns in yourself?
How can self-doubt affect our education, career, relationships, and mental well-being?
Hmm. In education, self doubt can lead to avoidance, like skipping applications or not speaking up in class, which limits growth. In careers, it can stop you from going after promotions or new opportunities. In relationships, it might make you hold back from honest conversations because of the fear of being not good enough. Over time, that pressure can chip away at your mental health, leading to anxiety or low mood. The tricky part is it often looks invisible from the outside, but inside it feels heavy.
Many talented people delay taking action because they want everything to be perfect. How can we overcome perfectionism?
Start small, like break big tasks into bite sized steps that don't feel overwhelming. Celebrate completions, even tiny ones, and consciously reframe mistakes as feedback instead of verdicts. And if self doubt feels too sticky, talking with a mentor or counselor can make a big difference. You're not supposed to fight this alone.
How can someone distinguish between realistic caution and unnecessary fear?
Good distinction. Caution is usually based on real evidence, like s- actual. If the danger mostly shows up in what if thoughts, that's usually fear. One test is, does this worry get in the way of meaningful action? Task and you small moves build confidence faster than waiting to feel ready. You don't need zero fear. You need motion.
How can we change into positive and constructive thinking?
Start by noticing the exact self doubting thought. Then rewrite it into something specific and doable. For example, I suck at this becomes I need more practice with this part. And add a next step you can actually take. Pair that with self compassion, like talk to yourself the way you would to a decent friend. Over time, that mix of realistic reframes plus small actions gradually rebuild confidence. And hey, it's practice, not perfection.
What daily habits help strengthen self confidence over time?
Daily habits like setting one small doable task and finishing it, keeping a short win log, practicing a skill for even 10 minutes, limiting comparison triggers like social feeds that drain you. Add in regular reflection, like one question each evening. What did I try today? Things like that. Build steady confidence brick by brick. Think of it as training a muscle. Consistency beats intensity.
How can setting small, achievable goals help reduce fear of failure?
Exactly. Small wins lower the sense of threat. Each time you complete something doable, your brain gets fresh evidence that effort leads somewhere safe. That retrains the fear response over time. Big, vague goals tend to scare us, but small, doable steps build momentum. Momentum beats fear.
What should we do when we fail despite giving our best effort?
First, pause. Let disappointment be real without turning it into a story about your worth. Then ask what worked, what didn't, what is one change I try next time. That keeps the focus on learning, not self blame. Give yourself recovery time. Talk it out with someone you trust. And when you're ready, take one small concrete action forward. Remember, failing after genuine effort is not proof you're incapable. It's proof you tried. That's how growth actually happens.
How can students and professionals stop comparing themselves to others?
First, notice when the comparison habit kicks in. Then, name it. Just saying, I'm comparing again, breaks some of its sneaky power. Shift attention to your own scoreboard, what you've learned, how you've improved. Limit exposure to triggers if needed, and practice gratitude for specific things you've done well. Over time, as your focus shifts from others' highlights to your steady progress, confidence gets room to grow.
As someone studying psychology, what strategies can I use to help people overcome fear and self doubt?
Hmm. As a psych student, you can make a real difference by mixing empathy, evidence based tools, and gentle encouragement. Start by creating safety where they can voice fears without judgment. Then help them challenge negative thoughts, like asking for evidence instead of accepting I'm going to fail. Encourage gradual exposure, small, achievable steps instead of avoiding challenges. Teach coping skills, realistic goal setting, celebrating tiny wins, journaling, and building a growth mindset. And if fear is overwhelming, refer to a qualified mental health professional. Your role is to guide, support, and walk alongside, not fix everything.
What advice would you give to aspiring content creators who are afraid of criticism or negative comments online?
Criticism online comes with the territory, but it doesn't define your value. Start by posting with a clear purpose. So feedback feels about the work, not your identity. Decide in advance you won't read comments at certain times if they mess with your head. Build a small circle of trusted peers who give constructive, specific feedback and focus on the people who actually benefit from your work, not the noisy minority. Over time, boundaries plus consistency make criticism less paralyzing and your voice more grounded. Keep creating anyway.
How can artificial intelligence help improve people, their confidence, and learn from mistakes?
Let me think. AI can boost confidence when used as a practice partner. For example, giving personalized feedback on writing or presentations, or creating a safe space to rehearse skills without judgment. It can help analyze mistakes and suggest specific improvements. So errors feel less like failure and more like data. But confidence still grows mainly. AI supports that, but doesn't replace the messy human learning that builds true confidence.
What role do family, mentors, and supportive friends play in building self belief?
They can make a huge difference. Supportive people offer encouragement when self doubt gets loud. They remind you of strengths you overlook, and they create a safe space to try and stumble. That's huge. With that backing, growth when family or peers aren't that supportive, you can still build micro communities like study groups, online circles with constructive vibes. It doesn't have to be a large is beat 100 random ones.
How can journaling and self reflection help us overcome self doubt?
Yes, journaling or quiet check-ins make self-doubt more transparent. You can notice patterns like specific triggers or times of day. Add simple affirmation grounded in facts, like naming actual skills you've earned, and pair reflection with action. One small step after reflecting, rewrite the inner script from I'm not good enough to I'm learning.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for sharing such thoughtful and practical insights.
You're welcome, Rafia.
Today's discussion reminded me that fear of failure is a natural part of growth, but it should never stop us from pursuing our dreams. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn, improve, and become stronger. Self confidence is not about being perfect, it's about believing that we can continue learning and moving forward despite challenges. As someone pursuing both psychology and artificial intelligence, I believe that developing resilience, maintaining a positive mindset, and taking consistent actions will help me become a better psychologist, educator, and content creator. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope today's discussion encourages you to face your fears, believe in your abilities, and take one courageous step toward your goals. I will see you tomorrow with another meaningful conversation. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.